Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into the fascinating world of solar eclipses. Get ready to be amazed by some truly bizarre science facts. You know, the universe is full of wonders, and right here on Earth we get front row seats to one of the most awe-inspiring events, a solar eclipse. It's a cosmic ballet, a dance between the sun, the moon, and, well, us here on Earth. And trust me, it's way more than just the lights going out for a few minutes. We're going to break down the science behind these celestial events, from the strange behavior of animals to the mysteries of the sun's corona. So buckle up, space cadets, because we're about to explore 11 bizarre science facts about solar eclipses that'll leave you wondering how you ever lived without knowing this stuff. The diamond ring effect. Picture this. The moon is almost completely covering the sun, and then bam! A bright flash of light, like a celestial beacon, appears right before the eclipse reaches totality. That, my friends, is the diamond ring effect. It happens because the moon isn't perfectly smooth. It's got mountains and valleys, and just before totality, sunlight sneaks through those valleys, creating the illusion of a sparkling diamond ring. The same thing happens in reverse as the eclipse ends. The first burst of sunlight peeks through those lunar valleys, creating another dazzling diamond in the sky. Now you might be thinking, Neil, that's cool and all, but it's just an optical illusion, right? Well, yeah, it is. But think about this. Those illusions are actually revealing the true, imperfect nature of the moon's surface. We're seeing mountains and valleys hundreds of thousands of miles away, all thanks to a trick of light. That's the beauty of science, folks. It can turn even the most seemingly simple phenomena into mind-blowing revelations about the universe we live in. Shadow bands. Have you ever seen wavy lines of light and shadow dancing across the ground during a total solar eclipse? Those are shadow bands, a mysterious phenomenon. Scientists believe they are caused by light bending in Earth's atmosphere. They are fleeting and unpredictable, different at every eclipse. It's like the universe's unique light show. Next time, keep your eyes peeled for those dancing shadow bands. Bailey's beads. Now let's talk about Bailey's beads, another fascinating phenomenon you might catch during those precious few moments before and after totality. As the moon inches closer to completely blocking out the sun, sunlight streams through the valleys and craters along the lunar landscape. But here's the kicker, it doesn't just shine through evenly. Instead, those beams of light get broken up, scattered into a string of bright bead-like points of light along the moon's edge. It's like someone draped a celestial string of pearls across the sky. These beads of light are named after Francis Baily, an English astronomer who first provided a detailed explanation of the phenomenon back in 1836. But even before Baily, people were captivated by these celestial beads. Imagine being an ancient astronomer, witnessing this spectacle without any scientific explanation. It must have seemed like magic, a sign from the gods. Today, we understand the science behind Bailey's beads, but that doesn't make them any less awe-inspiring. They're a reminder that even in the darkest moments, when the sun seems to vanish from the sky, there's still light finding a way through. Animal antics. You might think humans are the only ones who freak out a little during a solar eclipse, but think again. Animals have some pretty bizarre reactions too. Birds, for example, often get confused and start heading back to their nests, thinking it's nightfall. Imagine being a bird flying high in the sky when suddenly the sun disappears and the world plunges into darkness. Crickets might start chirping, owls might hoot, and bats might even emerge from their hiding places, all fooled by the sudden darkness. It's like someone hit the nighttime switch in the middle of the day. Even domesticated animals like dogs and cats can act strangely during an eclipse. Some might become agitated or confused, while others might just curl up and go to sleep thinking it's bedtime. These animal reactions highlight just how deeply connected life on Earth is to the rhythms of the sun. When those rhythms are disrupted, even for a few minutes, it throws everything out of whack. Temperature drop. Ever notice a chill in the air during a solar eclipse? It's not just your imagination. The temperature can actually drop quite a bit when the sun's rays are blocked. Think about it. The sun is our primary source of heat. When that heat is suddenly cut off, even for a short time, it's going to have an effect on the temperature. It's like stepping into the shade on a hot day. You immediately feel a difference in temperature, even though the sun is still shining. Now imagine that shade encompassing the entire region where the eclipse is visible. That's a lot of solar energy being blocked out. The temperature drop during a total solar eclipse can be as much as 10 to 15 degrees Fahrenheit, which is pretty significant. It's a stark reminder of just how much we rely on the sun for our planet's climate and weather patterns. Eclipses on other planets. We've been talking a lot about solar eclipses here on Earth, but did you know that they can happen on other planets too? Of course, you won't find any humans on those other planets to observe them, at least not that we know of. But the principles are the same. Take Mars, for example. It has two moons, Phobos and Deimos. Now, these moons are much smaller than our moon, so they don't completely block out the sun like our moon does. Instead, when Phobos or Deimos passes in front of the sun, it creates a partial solar eclipse, kind of like what we see on Earth when the moon doesn't completely cover the sun's disk. And it's not just Mars. Any planet or moon with a moon or moons orbiting it has the potential to experience solar eclipses. It all comes down to the alignment of the celestial bodies, so the next time you're gazing up at the night sky, remember that those tiny points of light we call planets might be experiencing their own celestial shadow shows. Omens in the sky. Throughout history, solar eclipses have been seen as omens, often associated with bad luck or impending doom. Imagine being an ancient civilization with no scientific understanding of what causes a solar eclipse. The sun, the life-giver, suddenly vanishes from the sky, plunging the world into darkness. It must have been terrifying. It's no wonder that eclipses were often interpreted as signs of angry gods or celestial warnings of disasters to come. Ancient civilizations developed all sorts of myths and legends to explain these celestial events. In some cultures, eclipses were believed to be caused by demons or dragons devouring the sun. In others, they were seen as signs of a ruler's impending death or the outbreak of war. It's fascinating to see how different cultures have interpreted these celestial events throughout history. Of course, today we know that solar eclipses are simply a natural phenomenon, a result of the celestial dance between the sun, the moon, and the earth. The eclipse chasers. Yes, you heard that right. There are people out there who dedicate their lives to chasing eclipses all over the globe. They're called eclipse chasers, and they're a dedicated bunch. These aren't your average tourists. They're amateur astronomers, scientists, and eclipse enthusiasts who plan their trips years in advance, meticulously tracking the paths of upcoming eclipses to secure the perfect viewing spot. They'll travel to the most remote corners of the Earth, from the icy plains of Antarctica to the bustling cities of Asia, all for a chance to stand in the shadow of the moon and witness a few precious moments of totality. What drives these eclipse chasers? It's more than just a hobby. It's a passion, an addiction to the awe-inspiring beauty and scientific significance of these celestial events. They're there for the diamond ring effect, the shadow bands, the Baily's beads, and the sheer wonder of seeing the sun's corona, the outermost layer of the sun's atmosphere, which is usually invisible to the naked eye. The Saros cycle. You know, predicting solar eclipses isn't some mystical art practiced by ancient oracles. It's actually based on a predictable pattern called the Saros cycle. This cycle, lasting approximately 18 years, 11 days, and 8 hours, dictates when and where solar and lunar eclipses will occur. It's like a celestial clock ticking away with remarkable precision. The Saros cycle is based on the repeating patterns of the orbits of the sun, the moon, and the earth. You see, these celestial bodies don't just move randomly through space. Their movements are governed by gravity, and those movements create predictable patterns. Each Saros cycle contains a series of eclipses, both solar and lunar, and here's the kicker: eclipses that are part of the same Saros cycle are similar in geometry and appearance. So, if you know the date and location of a particular solar eclipse, you can use the Saros cycle to predict when and where a similar eclipse will occur in the future. It's like having a time machine for eclipses. Protect your peepers. We've talked about all the amazing things you can see during a solar eclipse, but here's a word of caution. Never, ever look directly at the sun, even during an eclipse, without proper eye protection. You might be thinking, Neil, it's just the sun. I look at it all the time, but trust me on this one, folks. Staring directly at the sun, even for a short time, can cause serious eye damage, including blindness. The sun's rays are incredibly intense, and they can burn your retinas, just like a magnifying glass can focus sunlight to burn a leaf. And here's the thing, you won't even feel it happening because your retinas don't have pain receptors. So how do you protect your precious peepers? Simple, wear eclipse glasses or use a solar viewer. These devices are specifically designed to filter out the harmful radiation from the sun, allowing you to safely observe the eclipse. Remember folks, when it comes to solar eclipses, safety first. Protect your eyes so you can continue to marvel at the wonders of the cosmos for years to come. Keep looking up. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed these bizarre science facts about solar eclipses, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more amazing content. See you next time. Remember, the universe is full of wonders waiting to be discovered, and each solar eclipse is a reminder of the incredible forces at play in our cosmos. So keep looking up, keep asking questions, and never lose your sense of wonder.